This needs to stop. I am not making this up. This needs to stop. I'm sick and tired of people making stupid comments on videos and in reality and in life, and that are just completely and totally insensitive to people who struggle with depression, because it's a very, very, very real problem. And in my life, it is definitely one of the biggest problems, is struggling with not knowing how I feel about anything because of depression, and the way it twists the way I think and the way my friends see me because of that. So the whole point of this video is I'm going to try and give a brief summary from my perspective of what depression actually is, because people seem to have this misconception that it's just, oh, this person's just really, really sad, or this person can't be depressed because he's too happy, and stuff along those lines. So I'm going to try and define it as best as I can. Essentially, depression is a long-term emotional high that is triggered for people in different ways. For me, it's generally the weather and the lack of sunlight. That's called seasonal affectiveness disorder. I've never been officially diagnosed, but it's pretty obvious that that's where it's coming from. For me, between the months of December and March, generally, this year it started a little earlier, but generally between those months is the worst for me. It kind of peaks in February and then comes back down sometime in March, and then I'm okay again. So much more than what people give it credit for. So much more. Just and again, another misconception is that people being happy means they're not depressed. If anything, I would go as far as to say I feel like that's the opposite. If there's a friend you know who's happy all the time, trying to make people laugh and be the butt of the jokes on purpose, to be the goofball, the screw rounding guy, I would go as far as to say that they're probably struggling with some sort of depression, because that is something that is, at least again coming from my perspective, that is a real thing. Because for me, like when I go out in public, and there are times that I feel like I have to put on almost like a mask. I call it the happy face, and I go out and I'll put on this not fake act, but I'll just be over the top with everything, be happy to try and make other people happy, because I feel terrible, but I don't want that to spread to anyone else, so I hide it and I bury it, and then I just be a goofball. And then when I get home, though, it's, I mean, pretty much the color palette of this room right now describes it. It's just dead, and I just feel like crap. And having that mentality and lifestyle eventually starts to like wear on you and the way you think, and over time it's become very, very in like the spectrum has grown. It's either all the way this way or all the way that way. I'll go out in public and I will just be this over the top moron. I'll make stupid videos where we dump buckets of water on my head and I eat wasabi and stuff along those lines, because I'm trying to be over the top and funny. But in reality, as soon as the camera turns off, I will feel like crap. I mean, the smile disappears. It's so irritating to me that you guys, you can't make statements about how fake everything is. You're right in that sense. I guess you could say that the Aiden Ryan / Mr. Squiggly / whatever, you could call it fake if you want to, and you would be right in the sense of that's not how I feel. But it is at the same time. I do feel happy making videos, and do feel happy doing what I do, and making music and creating something is something I've always loved doing. But I want people to understand how actually much of a big deal it is. So like, I see people go on commenting on people's videos for them to go kill themselves, and horrible things they say on the internet, which is its own separate topic. I could vent about stupid idiot trolls all day. But for those people who do that, I hope you know how much impact it actually has on someone reading it, because they sit there and they read those comments. They don't just scroll over them and ignore them. No one can do that. No sane human is able to ignore hate comments like that. So don't do it, because there have been cases where people will go out and kill themselves because of something someone said on a video or commented on their Instagram post or something like that, and then the person's gone. How do you feel? Because that person's blood is on your hands. They're gone because of you. And if you say it's their choice, they made their choice, I agree. Obviously, I'm never going to. If someone kills themselves, yes, it is on them. They were the one to pull the trigger. They were the one to step off the chair, or whatever way they did it. I don't give a crap. But the events leading up to that, like, I've been there. I've been at the end of the rope, and you feel like there's no hope. There's nothing for you in life. You literally get to a point where you feel like you'd be happier if you were dead. And I am sick and tired of people pushing people to that point. It needs to stop. This needs to stop right now, and it's stopping now. And we're doing this together. Okay? So, what I need you guys to do, anytime you see on other videos someone commenting anything to that extent of telling someone to kill themselves or to go jump off a bridge or something retarded like that, just refer them to this video and please give them a piece of your mind, because I know you guys. I know most of you subscribe to my channel personally, and I know you guys will back me up on this, and I love that and appreciate that. But there's just kind of a level of doubt with interacting with my friends, I guess, that I've never really talked about, because it's kind of a side effect of where I am in, like, the battle between me and my fear and stuff like that. Other fancy metaphors, if you will. I mean, I have a group of people straight up telling me they love me and that I'm a great person on a daily basis, but honestly, that kind of just makes me feel worse, because I know that I'm not all the things they say I am, and I'm not a good person, and I make gigantic, unforgivable mistakes. I just want people around me to have a good time, and I want them to feel happy, and I want them to not be where I am right now. And that's why that's why Aiden Ryan as a character is so over the top and quirky and weird and goofy. Or if you're at school with me, you know the Hester face I put on, where I'm just a moron on purpose. This is all because I just want people to be happy, and honestly, I kind of become envious of them when they are. But as a whole, all of that to say, it needs to stop. Do your research before you open your mouth. There's this wonderful little thing called the Golden Rule. I don't know if most people on the internet probably haven't heard of this, but being raised the way I was, treating others the way you would like to be treated. So think about that for a second. Trolls, haters, whatever you want to call yourselves. Imagine someone coming onto your social page telling you you were worthless and that you mean nothing to them and that you wish they were dead. Think about that.